Discovering the Atlantis Ring. The mysterious protective and healing powers attributed to the Atlantis Ring are extraordinary. The original ring was found by a French Egyptologist in the tomb of an Egyptian high priest in the Valley of the Kings in 1860. The design on the ring did not fit in with the traditional motifs of Egyptian culture. It showed a pattern of specific geometric shapes. The pattern of the ring clearly suggests that it was the product of another civilization, predating the Egyptian culture, and presumably later. The Atlantis Ring has special energies and protects you from everything. The pattern of the ring forms an energy shield. Experts carried out radiesthesia tests on the ring and immediately recognized it as an object of extraordinary power. The overall pattern of the ring and its individual geometric shapes have a specific meaning and purpose. The various test results have shown that the ring bearing the Atlantean symbol is a powerful energetic shield that protects the wearer from any external harmful influences. The ring emits electromagnetic vibrations that are able to create a protective shield, which works according to a yet unknown principle, protecting the wearer from negative energetic influences such as the neutralization or transformation of the energetic charge of any ill wish, curse, hex, or other magical aggression. It regulates our own energy field, of which the ring itself is a part. Another important property of the ring is healing. It restores the energetic balance of the body, balancing the aura when worn. It also has the important property of strengthening intuition and perception beyond the senses. The ring can be compared to a kind of antenna, through which the wearer becomes sensitive to different influences and messages that he or she would not have been able to perceive without the ring. Most known characteristics that can be improved by wearing the Atlantis Ring: developing personal intuition, greater ability to solve problems, increased creativity, amplification and multiplication of mental programming to incredible levels, resonance amplifying materializer of desires, increasing the flow of positive energy into the environment, vitality generator, protection against subtle negative energies, development of the personal spiritual aspect, energy balancer, enhancing mental acuity, promotes personal, relationship and love relationships, improvement of intuition and inner capacities, attracts positive energies from the environment to the wearer. The characteristic points of the Atlantis Ring with the corresponding body parts that are more affected: 1. Heart center. 2. Throat center. 3. Head center. A. Hip center. B. Pelvis center. C. Center of the navel. H. Crown. The Atlantis Ring worn on the left hand strengthens the material life to a greater extent, while the Atlantis Ring worn on the right hand provides more help with problems related to the spiritual life. How to use the Atlantis Ring. Fingers of the hand. Each finger of the hand has an astrological sign. These can be associated with the Atlantis Ring and the geometric shapes on it. When we put the ring on any finger, in addition to the general effects, it has a stronger effect on one of the parts of the body associated with that finger. Thumb. Venus. Spiritual field. Venus plays a role in enhancing beauty, willpower and intuition, control of impulsive reactions, inner harmony. Physical field. You can focus your own body's self-healing powers to cure coughing, choking, shoulder pain, headache, asthma, tonsillitis, sore throat, facial nerve paralysis. It can stimulate the pineal gland, eyes, scalp, stretched brain, breast, and thymus. It can also help those interested in improving the absorption of vital energy through breathing and energy practices, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, etc. Index finger. Jupiter. Spiritual field. Jupiter strengthens the path of understanding the world, self-improvement, and spiritual development. It also helps you quit smoking. Physical field: head and toothache, loss of consciousness, pain relief, vision problems, liver and colon, indigestion, skin disease, sinus, and forehead. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is associated with the central nervous system. It is believed to provide psychological stability and energy protection against various destabilizing influences. Middle finger: Saturn. Spiritual field: Saturn consolidates, crystallizes ideas, strengthens the existing, and gives self-discipline. Our middle finger reveals our most hidden thoughts and desires. Can help with panic disorders, hysteria, insomnia, and sexual dysfunction. Physical field: help in overcoming pericarditis, chest pressure, hand tremors, fever, nosebleeds, stomach pains, and excessive sweating. Stimulates the body's blood supply, affects the throat, esophagus, nose, and teeth. Benefits are attributed to acupuncture channels related to bones. Ring finger: the Sun. Spiritual field: the Sun represents creative energy, vitality, and individuality. It is responsible for the expression of self-will and self-worth. Physical field: headaches, dizziness, tinnitus, rhinitis, sore throat, hyperactivity reduction. Can help cure migraines. Stimulates liver and bowel function. Improves and unblocks acupuncture energy channels related to the digestive system, genitals, and urinary tract. Energetic health positively influences longevity. Little finger: Mercury. Spiritual field: Mercury helps in the areas of rational thinking, communication, passing on knowledge, memorization, logic, and making connections. Physical field: for eye inflammation, thyroid problems, small intestinal disorders, and earache, relaxing, rejuvenating. It can affect states of energy disharmony that cause inflammation, irritability, and blockages. The relationship between our fingers and our internal organs has been best explored in Chinese traditional medicine. But never overlook the fact that energy follows thought and flows where it is directed. If we wear the Atlantis ring with a specific intention, but not on the finger associated with the particular organ or quality we want to improve, it is enough to focus on the specific intention and even say to ourselves for confirmation. Cleaning the Atlantis ring. Once the ring arrives, wash it with salt water. Sea salt is best. This allows you to clean invisible imprints of other people who have touched the ring before. Do not give it to anyone else afterwards, as the Atlantis ring becomes part of the owner's personal energy field. This field is completely unique to each person. If someone does touch it, they should repeat the cleansing treatment. It is recommended to soak the ring in water containing sea salt for 72 hours every 3 months. The entire surface of the Atlantis ring emits a white light, but traces of green positive and green negative can also be detected. Thus, each ring has 2 poles, and it makes a difference which side is worn towards the heart. Before you start wearing your new Atlantis ring, use a pendulum to measure which side is positive. You can measure this by laying the ring on a table and holding the pendulum over it. Ask the following question:
what is the pole of the side of the ring of Atlantis that is being examined?
Before doing so, let us accept the statement that the positive side is the sign of the clockwise rotation of the pendulum, and the negative marking corresponds to the left rotation, counterclockwise. Repeat the measurement several times to be sure, and then make a small mark on the positive side of the ring at the bottom edge of the ring, a small scratch with a file, for example, or even a nail file. Then always wear the ring with the positive side facing the heart. The effect of the ring is in no way a substitute for medical treatment, but it can be an excellent complement to medical and naturopathic treatments. The Atlantis Ring activates the body's own self-healing powers and attracts subtle cosmic energies. Researchers have likened the Atlantis Ring to a kind of antenna, amplifying the wearer's ability to receive subtle messages. There is a high probability that you will not be able to wear the ring permanently. Give yourself some time to find out how to live with it. The special pattern and shape of the Atlantis Ring are responsible for its unique properties. Triangle. The triangles at the two ends of the ring's head, on either side of the ring, represent Sirius, which has ties to Atlantis. It is from there that the alien civilization that created the Atlantean culture is thought to have come. Sirius is one of the brightest and closest stars, and is actually made up of two stars, Sirius A and the white dwarf that orbits it every 50 years, Sirius B. Sirius was the subject of many ancient cultures and much was known about it. The ancient Egyptians had a cultic reverence for Sirius, which they probably inherited from the Atlanteans. The triangles on the ring are thought to be antennas receiving signals from Sirius. The ring's tiny pyramid-shaped elements also represent the energy of the actual pyramids. The triangle also symbolizes light, movement, life, abundance, protection, and has become one of the most important tools of protective magic. The two triangles on the ring also represent the pillars of Heracles, Gibraltar, which opened the way to Atlantis. The triangle also represents divinity, sanctity, protection, and providence. Other geometric shapes of the ring: square. Stability, immobility, the base, the foundation of the pyramid, the four elements: fire, water, air, earth, equality, impartiality, justice, truth, and durability. The square and the rectangle are the four cardinal points of the world and the four regular winds. Circle. Ring carrying the Atlantis pattern. Infinity, unity, circulation. Holes. The Atlantis Ring has four diametrically opposed holes that form a cross in perfect symmetry. These holes act as energy channels. The holes at the apexes of the triangles act as sensors of positive energy, while the holes perpendicular to them cause negative energy to be distributed outwards. This creates a cycle that regulates the carrier's bioenergy, helping to maintain a positive balance. Sacral geometry, goldsmithing, and the Atlantis Ring. What makes the Atlantis Ring unique is that it gathers in a small piece of jewelry most of the laws of sacral geometry, and in particular that its design is based on the golden metaphor. This is why it is used as an amulet or energy channel in many religious, esoteric, mystical traditions such as Feng Shui, Reiki, or kinesiology. What is sacral geometry? The golden ratio, and what is the relationship between the golden ratio and the number 5? What should an Atlantis ring look like to conform to sacral geometry? And how do you know if an Atlantis ring conforms to the guidelines of the golden ratio? The sacral geometry. Sacral geometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the geometric shapes associated with the gods. It is usually related to what lies beyond the physical, such as mysticism or philosophy. It is about discovering the shapes created by the gods that are present in nature, such as the leaves of a tree, and then applying these rules to the design of sacral works created by humans, such as temples, and such as the Atlantis Ring. In ancient civilizations, such as ancient Egypt, Babylon, Greece, and the Roman Empire, sacral geometry was associated with the deities. It can be assumed that mythical civilizations such as Atlantis, to which legend attributes a high level of scientific development, were characterized by a development of sacral geometry that was perhaps inherited by later civilizations such as Egypt or Greece. In this sense, sacral geometry was also the cornerstone of beauty. In other words, it defines the proportions that a work of art must have in order to be considered beautiful by the people who share the culture. In modern civilizations, sacral geometry retains its laws, but its orientation changes. Just as in classical civilizations, it is about studying the world around us to decipher its rules. But these rules are no longer applied to honor the deities, but with the aim of creating a greater balance between man and his environment. This is why today the applications of sacral geometry are mainly found in the disciplines of personal development, or in spiritual practices such as Reiki. Currently, sacral geometry has many applications in personal growth and balance techniques, or in spiritual beliefs and practices of Eastern origin, such as Reiki or Feng Shui. I am sure there are many concepts of sacral geometry that you are familiar with. One of these is the pi number. Another one is phi, also known as golden ratio. What is a golden ratio or a phi number? The phi number is also known by several other names. The golden ratio, the extreme and average ratio, the golden mean and the divine ratio. In other words, the golden ratio and the phi number refer to the same concept. The golden ratio is present in all regular or semicircular geometric objects in which pentagonal symmetry, pentagons or the 5 square roots are in some way represented. This ratio is also found in nature. It is present in the plant world, for example in the arrangement of flower petals or leaves on a stem, the relationship between the veins of tree leaves, the inflorescence of a sunflower, the number of spirals in a pineapple or the distribution of artichokes. And it is also present in the animal kingdom, for example in snails or cephalopods, but also in the ratio of the distance between a human navel and its base to its overall height. The explanation of the golden ratio, in simple terms, is as follows. The sum of two segments relative to the larger segment is like the sum of the larger segment relative to the smaller segment. Leonardo Fibonacci discovered that plants always grow in a certain order. If one member of this sequence is divided by the previous one, the number is repeated and the process is approximately 89/55, which is the same as the golden number given by Euclid. How do sacral geometry and the golden ratio, the number phi, manifest themselves in the Atlantis rings? The Atlantis ring, in a small piece of jewelry, which is both an amulet and an energy channel, brings together the main guidelines of sacral geometry and in particular of the golden ratio or phi number. Each of its forms has its own motif and meaning. The Atlantis ring is a circle divided into 5 equal parts of 72 degrees each, resulting in a harmonious pentagon in a design based on the golden ratio. It has 4 holes, 2 on the polar axis, 1 in the north and 1 in the south, and 2 more coinciding with the planet's 30 degrees latitude. By connecting the holes on the north and the 2 sides, a triangle is drawn, which is the same as the Pyramid of Cheops. Again, we get a golden section. By inverting the Cheops triangle, another triangle is drawn to indicate the position of the 6 outer pyramids, from which 2 outer triangles start to the side holes. On the outside, moving from north to south, we find the Luxor-shaped wave, with 3 rectangular triangular-shaped slots tapering to form 3 triangles, each end of which gives space for 3 to 3 pyramids, these in turn continuing in 2 isosceles triangles, the apex of which marks the position of the side holes. The infinite line running around the inner side of the ring, also known as the lemniscate, is a shape describing the vibrational form of energy. Its function is to act as a multiplier, supplying positive energy and extracting negative energy. Therefore, the lines converge in the different perforations. The infinite signal also contains the values of the golden ratio. The longer radius and the shorter radius of the ellipse give the ratio of the base length to the base height of the pyramidal section of the Cheops pyramid. The 4 holes in the ring all pass through the exact intersections of the infinity signs. In terms of sacral geometry and gold metrication, the Atlantis ring, in its small scale, represents the application of the proportions that man has learned to discover in nature and to replicate in small objects like this ring that help us on our journey to find balance with our environment and ourselves. In this sense, the power of the Atlantis Ring does not come from the magical formulas of metaphysics, but from the canon of beauty inspired by the nature around us, which in turn inspires us on our journey towards balance and personal growth. The power of the Atlantis Ring as an amulet does not depend on otherworldly magic. It depends on the magic within you and how you can work it and nurture it. These are the qualities that the ring will help and amplify. Which ring is the real Atlantis Ring? The power of a ring lies in the perfect pattern, whatever the material. It is active because of the vibration and radiation of the precise geometric shapes placed in a defined pattern. In this way, this heritage of Atlantis is easily accessible to all. You can find rings on the market that vary slightly in thickness or width, but many of them still have a somewhat positive vibration for people. The biggest difference is the strength of this vibration, which depends largely on the geometrical precision of the Atlantis Ring. The Atlantis Ring with the tiny volcano branding is the perfect match for the features described. During the design and manufacturing process, all aspects of the sacral geometry have been taken into account with the utmost precision, so that the Atlantis Ring can produce the maximum beneficial effect for you. Several problems were encountered during production. After much planning and repeated sampling, the Atlantis Ring was created in a medium ring size that encompassed all the details and perfectly matched the original geometric proportions. And then the next problem arose. If we changed the size, the geometric proportions also changed, so that the greater the difference in size, the less the ring conformed to the original proportions. Finally, the perfect solution was born. Not only was the inner circumference of the ring changed, but all the dimensions of the ring were changed proportionally with the change in size. In this way, all sizes contain all the geometric proportions with maximum accuracy, and all sizes of the Atlantis Ring have the same efficiency. The difficulty with this was that each size had to be treated and manufactured as a separate ring model, of course, each with the most accurate design and careful control of every manufacturing operation. Probably the same was done for the original Atlantis Ring, but since no more sizes were found, we had to figure it out for ourselves. Although the material of the ring is not the most important factor in terms of beneficial effects, we have tried to use materials that are as durable as possible. That's why we chose 316L stainless steel, also known as medical or surgical steel, because it makes the ring completely hypoallergenic, so people with metal allergies can wear it with peace of mind. And the Atlantis Ring's headpiece has a double thickness, approximately 1 micron, 18-karat gold plating, so it's also highly resistant to wear and tear and doesn't change the ring's anti-allergenic properties. In terms of production, such precise machining of this material, if we are not talking about a normal piece of jewelry, increases the production costs enormously. But for us, the most important thing was to maximize its beauty and comfort, as well as its utility value, and to guarantee our customers the greatest satisfaction. The Atlantis Ring is delivered in a unique gift box which, when opened, depicts the underwater Atlantean ruins, and in the center of the box is a scale gold pyramid, and the ring is placed on the top of it.